Hey folks, welcome back. Another season of the Kraus Radio Show, and we are ready to go here at West the Youth Center Radio Network under Kraus. Lou Medina is somewhere. We don't know where he is. If you see I lost to Louie, please call the Youth Center. We got a huge show today coming up. We're talking about the Bills coming up a huge win over Alex's Dolphins. But is it going to be enough to get the team into the playoffs? I'll talk about that. Plus the Sabres 1-8-1. How can they get back into it? Is it Rolston's fault? Is it Regier's fault? Should Ryan Miller be traded or not? We'll talk all about that. And plus, your NT Lumberjacks call a huge TNT win. We'll come up with the highlights right after the break. Now, watch here on the Youth Center Radio Network. Welcome back, everybody. Joe Kraus here, show watch here on the Youth Center Radio Network, brought to you by Al's Snack Shack. Get your York patties today. So we got a huge show today. First of all, it's great to be back here at the NT Youth Center, here at our new location at Grant Elementary. By the way, a couple notes: the basketball season will be beginning in just a couple of weeks, so check out their Youth Center website. Follow me on Twitter at @theprofant to get your NT sports updates, along with my thoughts on the Bills and the Sabres, so you'll be able to get your updates from that. Also, if you haven't checked the Buffalo News lately, I wrote a couple articles about TNT. It's on their website too at buffalonews.com under the Life and Arts tab. So just a couple of things to check out. Alright, let's get this party train started. The Bills caught a huge win to move to 4-3 on the season with their 23-21 win over the Dolphins. EJ Manuel got hurt a couple of weeks ago against the Browns with that sprained MCL injury, which, by the way, in the offseason he had, or during the preseason, he had surgery on it. So Thad Lewis came in against the Bengals, had a strong game. They weren't able to win that game as they lost 27-24. But what I liked about Thad Lewis so far is that, he's sort of like those stories that you just love to see in sports, just like an underdog, just be on the street for a couple of years and then being promoted from a practice squad. Thad Lewis, 21-32, 202 yards and interception in the Bills' recent victory on Sunday. I don't know what's going on with CJ Spiller so far. He's surprised fantasy owners, even analysts on ESPN and all the other analysts I've talked to. They've just been surprised by how Spiller's been doing so far this year. 6 carries for only 11 yards in that game on Sunday. Now, then again, he's still hurt, still bothered by that ankle injury. But I mean, I don't know. You can't blame the offensive line. Like in years past, we've blamed the offensive line, but I mean they're giving them the holes. I mean, I just think that they're getting healthier. From what I've heard, the Bills are getting healthier. So hopefully Spiller can get back to his form in a couple of weeks. Fred Jackson, however, has been a beast so far. Already at 5 touchdowns so far on the season, and he's 32. So basically, it's like Alex playing out there, if you want to put it that way. I don't know. You look 18 from a far distance away. But Fred Jackson, I talked to him at the Bills training camp. He said he has a couple more years left to go. But I mean, just I've always liked Fred Jackson. I wouldn't say he's definitely a Bills legend, but he's not your Marshall Falk kind of guy. But I mean, coming out of Cole College, a D3 school, and playing for the Bills all these years, he's been very exciting to watch. Stevie Johnson, he was bothered by that back injury a couple weeks ago. He missed that game against the Bengals, but was back in it on Sunday against the Dolphins. 6 catches for 61 yards. It's going to be interesting how the wide receiving core is going to be right now with Manuel out with his injury. They said he could be back in a couple of weeks, but we're not sure about his knee injury. But Thad Lewis, so far, I mean, on Sunday he was able to connect with him for the 6 catches. So if those two can get on the same page, then hopefully the Bills can do good. And how about Kiko Alonso? Since day one, and I believe I said this on the show over the summer, since day one, I have liked Kiko Alonso's mentality, and I really think he could be the top linebacker. He could be the next Brian Urlacher. I believe he is the Rookie of the Year candidate right now. Just the way he's been playing so far. I mean, just to have a rookie being the anchor of the defense, if you will, just doing a tremendous job. on that side, and Mario Williams getting back into his old form. 10.5 sacks so far, and we're not even into the halfway mark of the season. So good job for him. Mario Williams, he's back healthy, and it's great to see him play. And the defense, Mike Pettin has done a nice job with that defense. They've done tremendously better than last season. Just being able to stop the run game a lot better. And Coach Doug Marrone, he's brought in that new mentality, that winning mentality, and it's starting to pay off. I mean, they're 4-3, but we still have a long way to go. Now, I did say, if you didn't read my Buffalo News article, I did say they were going to go 13-3. They are. I meant to say 3-4, not 4-3. But I mean, maybe 13-3 was a little bit too much. But I think they're gonna, if they can't get the wild card, they're gonna at least make a fight for it. I mean, we should win over the Patriots. I mean, I don't know how the Patriots lose to the Jets, but I mean, I don't know. I think the Bills are gonna do very good this season, and they're heading in the right direction. Maybe not Super Bowl bound, but if in the next couple of years, if they can get a couple more pieces, it might be a contending team. Moving on. Sabres 1-8-1 on the season to start. Where do we begin, folks? I'm not going to blame Ron Olsen just yet, and I'm not gonna sit here and criticize the players because but I will have to say Darcy Regier, his time is caught up a little bit. I think. Do I think that this team is gonna trade Thomas Bank and Ryan Miller? No, or hopefully probably not, because Ryan Miller has been playing great so far. But the one thing that I'm surprised about is that when Terry McGill took his team over back in 2010, he said he was going to put a hard-working team that was going to make the playoffs. And so far, looking down the line, I mean, if it wasn't for Vank and Miller, basically, it's like, not to offend the Sabres, it's basically like an AHL team playing against the Bruins and the Penguins. That's just how I see it. And no offense to Sabres, and hopefully they can get back on the right track, but I don't know, they just gotta get their act together. And finally, here on the show, Jacks winning the 104th TNT game over the Tonawanda Warriors, 45-21. Chris Ford, 7-14, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns. Christian Mahoy, 13 carries, 151 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Nehemiah Stone, again winning the Tonawanda News Player of the Game, 10 carries for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns. Defense had 5 sacks. I was able to talk to both teams before leading up to the game, and there's just something special over on Tonawanda's side with Rob Gross leading the team into the playoffs for the first time in 9 seasons. He just said when he first got here, he told the players, the seniors when they were freshmen, that they were going to playoffs, and it's just great to see them get back there. And NT's still in a rebuilding mode. I mean, there's been some people saying like, oh well, the team's not doing well because they've lost 3 games. I mean, we all know that, like in the past, you've seen win 2 or 1 or lost 1 or 2. But I mean, Tony Trulizio is the right guy. I think it's just a matter of time, and the JV team has just been ripping it up so far. That'll do it for us here on the Joe Kraus Radio Show. That'll do it again. I'll see you in a couple weeks for the basketball playing. So we're going to sign up, and we'll see you then. Have a great night, everybody.